But I meant to have the chat up on my Facebook, but I haven't got any battery on my laptop, so I guess Harry can watch that if anybody wants to ask any questions or whatever.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. So we're live and direct. EMW TV is hosting a very, very special Fuego Radio Winger podcast with Wheeze Team.
What's going on?
Up in the place.
Oh, I should have worn my Wheeze Team t-shirt.
Yeah, I just happened to have my Wheeze Team t-shirt freshly washed.
Freshly washed,
ready to go. I actually didn't wear it purposely yesterday, so I could wear it today and everything.
Every other day this year I've worn it.
First time you watched it this year, bro.
Yeah, boy. What's happening then? You boys good? Enjoying lockdown? Having lots of fun in Amberford?
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. Loving life. I just moved into a new house, so that's always good. About a month ago, 2 months ago.
Nice.
So that's always fun. Yeah, man.
Where's that?
Pontardawe. A little bit out of Hamford, really. A little bit.
Yeah, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
No, not bad thing.
Subtle digs.
What you boys been doing to keep sane this year?
Dauntless, if I'm honest.
Not been keeping sane.
Like, to be honest, I've been keeping working, so like my life is like kind of somewhat normal, but it's not. But like the end of last year, G introduced me to a game, and that's been keeping us insane. Like playing Dauntless, like just smashing the fuck out of it.
Hours and hours, man. Just fucking.
What is it?
Like an MMORPG.
Tinder, is it? Tinder, is it?
Tinder, yeah, but
Grinder.
COVID mask on, Johnny on.
Fuck's sake.
Dude, I love that cup. That's awesome. Yeah, man. Sick. That's beautiful.
Look at that.
That's a nice coffee cup, though.
That is a nice coffee cup.
It's 12 o'clock. Cocktail time. Over 12 o'clock. 2 o'clock. What time is it?
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock. We're live and direct. And we're broadcasting across Winger Records, Fat Lace, Electronic Music Wales, and the Electronic Music Wales group. So hopefully there's a few people joining. I'm keeping an eye on everything. But,
and Channel 4 +1.
Yeah, +1, bro. On repeat.
Yeah, can you not do some hacking where we just broadcast to like ITV2 or something?
Yeah, I'm on it now.
Could you imagine?
Across all broadcasts. I don't know, bro.
Where is? I would have thought. Dude,
we got James Morris in the lobby. Let's get him in.
There we go.
Oh, James.
Hi,
James Morris. The legendary rapper James Morris in the building.
MC Morris, bro.
Oh, dude.
You got to unmute yourself, by the way.
Yo.
Jimmy.
What's up, boys?
Yo.
What's happening?
Right.
Oh,
fucking
nice mic
nice
sound.
setup you got there, bro.
You got
Yeah, boy.
Respect. Nice to meet you.
Cheers, bro.
Right, third member of Wheeze Team has joined us.
Let me get my tea on the go.
The notorious James Morris. Also known
I was
as
thinking,
Jim
should I
Bean.
put Jim Bean? But I was like, it was like sign up things. I was like, I don't know. It asked for my name, not like a username.
Mate, I'm still Heil Quizler from when I was doing family quizzes. Every time we do one of these, I'm like, fuck, I got to change that, but I don't do it. I'm already like broadcasting. And I'm
That's
like,
epic,
I
man.
just noticed. Oh my god, that's amazing.
all right, and then on the other
Yeah,
screen, we've got OG Titan Teeth, and just for anyone who's not aware,
Going on.
What's up, boys?
they released an album earlier this year, Kings of the Swamp, which is a fucking masterpiece.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Got it lined up here. So yeah, whenever you want.
How you feeling after releasing it? Before releasing it, what's your general take?
Good, man. Yeah.
It's your first album, innit, as a group. So
Yeah.
how you feel?
It was the first one that really sort of come together. Like
Definitely.
we've had sort of a lot of like projects and songs that are sort of like just singles and stuff, but this is the first one that really like stood as an album, which was quite cool.
Definitely.
Be nice to do a few more of them, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
for me, it was nice to have some recognition other than like friends and stuff. Like when you found out Adam Walton got it, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I enjoy our music, like I do. But I know I suppose it could be sad, but I don't care. But like someone else liked it, and I was like, shit. It might be good then.
You know, it's like a sense of awareness.
Got a lot of
until someone says it's decent, you're sort of like, you don't even know what you're making. You're just sort of like having fun with your mates, sort of making noise
in a laugh,
which is the best part of it. Which is the best part, and always will be for me. Like it's not even about like it's nice that people want to listen and stuff. But
that album was like a lot of partying, like when it was
There was
a lot of drinking, like
a lot of drinking.
I could have never noticed.
There's a lot of booze, a lot of other things.
So, I mean, I'd say broadly speaking, it's like reasonably got like reasonable dark undertone to it. Where do you think you draw that darkness from? Because you're pretty fucking happy boys, like.
Yeah, that's true, man.
And it's always like metal music, and it's always like
Jim's right.
it's always that metal music like influence. We were always metalheads growing up, like, and I only really got into hip hop because of these guys. And even though I was always skating back in the day and listening to the odd bit of hip hop, it was more like drum and bass and metal and stuff for me. But yeah, when I do listen to hip hop, I really like those like dark and gritty, like boom bap songs and it's like it's so hard to capture that sound, like just the same as it's difficult to capture that like funky hip hop sound as well.
That's something I don't think I'll ever be able to do. That's impossible for me. It's hard, man.
I know it's impossible almost.
Hardest thing's making happy music, man.
Dude, it's a fine line between corny and happy. Like like you could be like on your own and it's like, oh yeah, this is awesome, but then I show it to like G or whatever, and then I realize how shit it is, and then I just throw it in the bin. Oh right, that's corny.
I get that with beats, man. You like delude yourself when you're in it and creating it, and you're like, man, this is like the best shit ever. And then when it's played out loud to people, you just realize it's like that.
Cringe.
It wasn't what I thought. Like,
it's mixing at the minute that I'm like concentrating on, and like listening back, you're always like the songs always just sound flat or like empty, and like constantly trying to make it sound more full and like and nice on no matter what device you listen to it on. It's like that's what I've been concentrating on a little bit at the moment. Not even like completing songs, just like putting a drum kit on and trying to make it sound like you're in the room with the drum kit or
sound design. Is it?
Just doing technician shit, like.
Yeah. I find that really interesting, even though I'm
more of a job then as well, isn't it? You don't have to be so caught up in the creative.
Yeah. Like I'm not very good at it, but it's good fun. Like.
I don't know, man.
Do you all have setups now, so you can kind of you're just at home kind of doing music by yourselves and sharing ideas back and forth?
I don't really know what the setup the boys have like.
Well, I would show you, but it's right behind the camera. So I've got a tower set up, but I need monitors. My next step is to try and do my live beats because I'm a drummer. I can't fucking write the drums that Jim writes and G writes. I can play them, but like I can't do it. I write boring drum beats, like, but on the kit I can actually play and express the beats I want to do. So I need to get some mics for that, the kick, snare, and hi hat.
Yeah, I've got all the kit at the minute, really. We sort of chipped in and bought a load of stuff.
Holding it away.
Yeah, and it's sort of like resided at my house, so I've got like all the monitors and the
give me my Focusrite, bitch.
I've got the Focusrite and stuff, and the mic and everything as well, in fact. But yeah,
we got some people on the stream just tuning in, so I just wanted to shout out Dana Parry, Dale Lewis. They're all
nice. What's up, guys? Yo.
And Dana's got a question. Says, what would you say is the best thing to come out of Ammanford before you?
Rufus Mufasa.
It's a difficult question.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody.
Billy Foner.
Yeah, come
I
on.
don't know any bands like
no,
Like
I
famous
haven't.
people or
Heroin.
bands. I don't think. I don't
Like,
think
I
there's
don't-
much to come out of Amford. Like,
well, Navarro's a good musician, I'd say.
yeah,
He's
Yeah.
there's
cool.
definitely a few
Doing it
good
for time.
bands. Like Woven Man is a band from Amford. I'm pretty sure. They're quite established. They've done a few gigs.
Mm.
They're like I think they're quite like a metal sort of band.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
This could be complete horse shit, right? But someone in the pub told me that MCAT actually came from Amherst originally.
Say that again.
It was a hub, man. But
The MCAT came from
MCAT.
Amherst.
Yeah. I thought that, yeah.
I have zero idea on the validity of that statement.
I'd say it's more likely to come from Pontardawe than it was
Yeah.
Amherst. That's where I come from, but I don't know. Like,
Is that at the top of the hill or the bottom of the hill?
Taking cred for it there, Doug.
yeah, I'll take the
Getting
credit.
territorial.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely to come from where I'm from because we're high as fuck and we're druggies.
It's a subtle flex, man. You know, it's a subtle flex.
Just for reference, MCAT's just another type of powder that people shove up their noses, and it's basically
It
weed
was-
killer, right?
Called mephedrone.
It was super
Caffeine.
bad.
Terrible.
It was super
Yeah,
bad around here, like at one point.
Cheap as dirt,
Yeah.
and it was dirt.
Love
like-
how quickly this
Yeah.
conversation dissolved into MCAT.
Yeah.
Ammanford MCAT. Did
That's
that
a sick
influence your
t-shirt,
music? Yeah.
That's why I made it myself.
Thankfully
Would,
not. Thankfully not.
would you boys, is there any obvious ways you boys could sort of tell your area like directly influences your music?
Like we live in
I-
a really beautiful place in it, like, and we take
Yeah.
it for granted. So
we do,
like,
man. The hills.
I don't know
and
if
shit.
that directly influences my
I-
music, but
I'd say it comes to that darkness again, because with the valleys, there are some dark stories that go on, and there's drug abuse and all that stuff. So it's like kind of like that flip.
Mm.
Yeah, it's dark, but there's also we live in a beautiful place, and
yeah,
it's beautiful
Yeah.
down your way as well, isn't it? Carmarthenshire, we're staying in place.
Mm.
But yeah, I'd say the darkness of some stories of what I've heard or been
Yeah,
through
yeah.
even.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed, like.
Mm.
I can't stop drinking this drink. I'm gonna
No,
get
So,
hammered.
just a,
my tea's getting stronger as I drink it. It's just perfect. That's so
Sucking on the
good. Like,
bag, like.
yeah, boy, you
to
know
take-
it.
And drinking
Fuck
tea.
it on the bag, like. Yeah, man. No, like, it's like when I was like riding my bike the other day and listening to the start of Gorge Monster, that like piano bit, and that's like a song that starts at, like, and it's like really pretty and stuff, and it always like reminds me of like looking over the hills and stuff, and then it drops into like a more like dark, serious tone, which is kind of what Ducky was talking about then, with all the like depression in the valleys and such.
I could completely be pretentious and say that was my intention, but not at all.
Yeah,
I tried to blend the beauty of the hill with the drug
yeah,
doors sonically.
yeah.
What track's that you're talking about?
Gorge Monster, man.
Oh no, it's Thieves of the Town.
Oh
innit?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
remember.
one. Sorry.
We
that's a
changed
good
all
tune,
the.
man. I like that
I'll
tune.
play a little bit of it under.
The album's sick, man. I listened through to the
Cheers,
album
bro.
again the other night, and
Yeah, boy.
Amazing.
yeah, class.
Can you all hear that?
Especially
Yeah,
Mullet.
man,
I listened to
it's
Mullet
perfect.
about 3 times.
Yeah.
I did screenshot that message and showed all the boys like fucking on it like.
This is I don't know how Duck comes up with this stuff. Like.
Oh man, it was a banger the first time we heard it.
Like I was like stood in the middle of a river the other day, like this playing on my headphones. It was like snowing, and like and then it just dropped. It was so good. Listening to our own music.
One thing you just might lose my mind. Come at you with a 9-inch kitchen knife. It's all fun and games, you lose an eye. My mouth gets dry when it's time to lie.
Yeah.
I'm
My
out
mum's
on
my
the
biggest
hunt
fan
for
for sure.
I'm never gonna stop till I run out of
My
steam.
mum's my
Gonna
biggest
quit
fan.
till I come to my dreams.
I literally just got off the
For
phone
real.
with her, telling me our last album was a masterpiece. I was like,
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
Where's that available?
On the Winger Records Bandcamp on YouTube. Is it on Spotify? Are we doing that?
Spotify,
No,
yeah, we
Spotify,
are
yeah,
Sort it out.
Boys need to get
man,
it.
just fucking
Yeah,
We're
man.
ain't
useless.
bothered, mate.
Yeah. Fuck. If Jim had his
Absolutely
way, we wouldn't
useless.
have released it.
Yeah. Still be working on it.
It was getting to a point where Jim was there's a few more tweaks. I was like, Jim, man.
Oh man.
We need to release it. It's like we've been working on it for like
3.5 years.
It was great. Like the
build
build up
song that we had. Like,
It was done in the first like 6 months, and then it was just like
we were just like tweaking it then. That's good though. I personally feel it's a solid project. Like,
Yeah.
And you boys
Went
did
round full
amazing
circle.
on the prod, like
yeah,
full circle.
it's good.
It's like we spend so much time on it as well. It's like that worry of, is the production not going to sound up to scratch for our next couple of projects and stuff, because we took so long on it. And Jim, for the last I don't know how many months it was, he was really getting down to the nitty gritty on you know, cutting away frequencies or, you know, all that fucking shit. Won't bore you. Like
Going around full circle.
Yeah.
Changing EQs and then putting it back and then changing it back and like,
trying to get that clean sound, man. I like that clean sound. I find some of my early stuff really messy because I had no clue what I was doing at all.
Yeah. That's the thing, though, isn't it?
I
Like,
think
you boys
constantly getting better, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I think your album sounds pretty clean overall as well, though. With
Nice.
like a lot of the production's quite heavy in it, and it's not like, it's definitely not your typical like hip hop album or whatever. There's loads of electronic and, like you say, dark kind of vibes, but it's like, it's not like nothing kind of drowns out each other. It's all quite level. Do you know what I mean?
It's all balanced.
long way from
and
crusty
reference clipping
loops,
and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a long way from
And like you said,
Crusty loops.
Yeah, man.
So what would you say is one thing after releasing the album where you're like, yeah, this particular vibe is us, we're going to keep banging this? And what's one thing where you would either change or an element you didn't have where you're like, oh, I wouldn't mind putting a bit of that flavor in the next stuff?
That's a tough question, bro. For me, like, I think I
Nobody.
don't know. I got into
It's
a blank,
perfect.
so I can't. like from the start of writing it to like how it had come out, you always like wish that it could be the finished product, like just as good all the time. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. That sounds rubbish.
Like, yeah, like, as far as like where Wheeze Team is going to go, like at the moment it seems like G's got this style that he's got and I've got this sort of style that I'm trying to chase. And like when we come together again after this lockdown and stuff and we can get together and jam and stuff, I'm not sure if it's going to even be the same thing anymore. It might create something different again.
I would like so.
Although we always have got that common ground. We want that dark gritty sound. But like since we've been like working on our own solo stuff over the past like lockdown period, like it might have changed our influences when we come back together. That would be quite cool to see what happens then.
Man.
Yeah.
I'd say there's something that I liked that I got from it, and I want to push because it's always a challenge for me, is sampling. I suck at sampling as well. I suck at most things, but I listened to Moon Daffodils by you guys. Is it Moon Daffodils?
Yeah.
And I heard the sampling on that, and I was like, how? What the fuck? That's sick. And that's when my missus
Peggy's
into...
God.
You are?
Peggy's God.
Yeah, man. My missus listens to a lot of like old music, 40s, 50s and stuff. And I was like, Nikki, give me a track to sample. And she gave me Low Hanging Fruit by I'm not too sure who she is. Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
And that's where I got Metamorph. So like that is literally inspired by Moon Daffodils, because I was I've got to man. I was like, I have to. It's like an homage and to get up my game. So that's something I've learned from it. But like I'm always on that case to get that old school stuff. It's like you say, my production. That
was where we started sampling with that track, wasn't it? That was where you first started, and there was another one before that, wasn't there? Which Was it
Freeze.
Beth Galu, which we didn't actually ever release?
No, that's
got
not
like some
sampled.
crazy.
Freeze is sampled. That's I can't remember the classical piece, but it's the theme from Jonathan Creek.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So it's like sampling is just my long-term goal, because I hear some of your boys' production. I'm like, what? Like,
some MIDI controllers and stuff, maybe.
Then there's a lot of people who'd be like samplers who'd feel like they were just like doing nothing, and I wish I could properly produce. So.
Yeah,
as well, isn't it? Yeah.
It's all learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't even got a keyboard. I need to get myself a keyboard and like a little MIDI controller would be awesome. Instead of just using piano roll or like a normal keyboard.
Yeah.
You know, kills the creativity.
You get quite good get little minis. Like I got a little Akai mini. It's only about like that big, but
nice.
It's not bad.
all
like,
you need.
Just playing stuff into Logic and that.
Yeah, for real.
Are you guys use
So
Logic?
should we take it back to like when the birth of Wheeze Team? When did you think of the name Wheeze Team? How long you boys
I
have known
think
each
G
other for?
already. Yeah,
It's
G.
man. It's all G.
that.
Yeah.
That's his
It's all
brainchild,
G.
man.
I was, I think it was just Manifest, really. Like, me and Duck got together to do Limbo, and Duck wasn't, I don't think he was even into hip hop at that time. Really.
No, not at all. Not at all. I was doing it for shit.
And so I'd messaged, and I'd been listening to a few things and writing a few things, and I was like, dude, make me a beat. So he did it, and we did a few. And then, I don't know, I just felt like when I was writing it and rapping, it was just Manifest. It was just something I wanted to.
You started. I can't remember when you started rapping about it.
I know it's in Swamp, didn't it?
Yeah, just
The first CD you gave me was Wheeze Team.
Fireside
Yeah,
Friday.
it was saying
No,
Wheeze
it
Team.
was.
But was
that
that-
was OG. That was
Was
OG.
it?
But
It was.
he mentions the Wheeze Team.
Yeah.
And like even at the time, I was like, "What's the Wheeze Team,
Yeah.
man?" It's like,
Yeah.
well, it's gonna be the team.
Just a group that I was trying to create. Like,
Because I met G and Duck through a metal band, wasn't it? Is that how I first met you two?
yeah.
And then but you already had the first CD
we
by
were
then, didn't you? And you
working
gave
on
me
Limbo,
the
weren't we?
CD.
And that's all you had. Play it.
Yeah, it's all I had in my car. I had like an
Yeah.
old Golf with a
Yeah, the
CD
old Golf.
player, and I had that playing just constantly, like
And
with
you
this
d- you-
ridiculous sound system that was like just horrendous. Like,
Be
but I
a
thought it was awesome.
practice in the unit, and you'd lift the
Yeah.
boot, and you just blare Parasite Paradise, like this terribly mixed
Yeah.
fucking
Amazing.
thing. Like,
Yeah, boy. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So yeah, man. But I'd say the entity of Wheeze Team, or like the group or collective or whatever you want to call it, like that didn't actually come together, I reckon, until Jim
So we met Jim. Yeah.
joined.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's-
like-
it's
But
a
the
trip
first song I did
inspired.
was it
You did
Grinder?
a- No,
Or-
you did a hook for Prowling.
Yeah, you did
first,
probably. You're
Oh,
on.
yeah.
You're on.
Parasite
fucking-
Paradise.
Yeah, you are on.
And then
Ah,
You think I'm
and then we
proud.
asked you to do a verse for that track on Everything Residual, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, middle ground. Not middle ground.
Yeah, it
Well,
was middle ground.
Yeah, middle ground. Yeah.
And then from there, then we
Grinder,
Jim
Serpents.
was connected then, and we were.
it's
we were just
rats, I
doing
reckon.
shit
That
like-
Jim.
and then it was a
Rats.
few. Yeah, that was the first like 50-50 song, wasn't it? Where it was like
Yeah.
a verse.
A verse
you know,
each, the
each.
hook, and
Yeah,
that was on the
yeah.
beat in it. That was true
Yeah.
WT. Like,
I think then we decided we were gonna do the album then. Then
I think it was,
and
wasn't
then
it?
Kings of the
And
Swamp.
7
came
years
around
later, here we are.
eventually. Yeah. Yeah.
Just waiting on the
And time
7th for
flies.
the next one.
Yeah. Man, it feels like yesterday, honest to God.
It does, man.
Mm.
It's wild.
That's
Time
cool, though.
flies.
Should we play
I think
another?
that's what makes you guys sound so interesting. Is two of you weren't even hip hop heads, so there's like repeated stereotypes don't even have an option of coming in because you haven't got some sort of predetermined
Yeah.
hip hop snob brains, and I think that's what
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
it so refreshing. Like,
Should we play another
Yeah.
track from the album?
Go for it,
Sure.
dude.
yeah.
What do you want?
Mullet.
Mullet, yeah,
Bang on it, then.
Sound.
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Just gotta say,
I was like, sorry, carry on, dude.
yeah, just gonna say big up Jay Reed, Luke Menace is tuned in.
What's going on?
Nice man.
Yeah,
up, guys?
and some guy called Jem Squires.
On his personal account.
He's a
like, just on the
scrub.
side, like.
Scrub.
Get those stats up.
So this is the track called Mullet, yeah?
Yeah.
Malay.
Sure, Mullet was the last track to be added onto the.
Jim just threw out this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
motherfucker. There's 2 songs in this album that I didn't get to touch.
What do you know?
So some of the best. Like,
What's that?
Singer in this.
I want to know Black Bricktop's boogies. Do me a favour, do it. I will do you a favour, Mullet. I'm not best to live in fuck out of you in front of all your girlfriends here. Gonna make you wash my whale meat. Jesus, Tony, you know that is.
Like a little scratch in his voice looks sort of
Yo, I get fucked around by dead underground, relentless than lesser men, underdressed again, unimpressed. I resurrect the devil under stress. I'm on the next fucking level. People don't pass it on. Better run with the bong, better off with the cough. Never stop getting lost on the beat roads with the trailer in tow. Watch a seed grow, wanna be your people that's so son. I'm no one, no fun, chilling in the low sun.
It annoys me how well you rap.
Living with the shogun, seeking problem, don't run. Stand your ground. I never fucking rubber cause my jeans fall down. Too skinny in the waist to race around. What's the point of being the biggest person in the cold?
Understood the music.
I understand timing pretty well, so kind of like helps with the flow for sure.
Definitely.
Especially with how anal the Jim is with his timing and melodies and stuff. He's really good.
Yeah, if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Like that's the wild thing is like, you guys know Jim for production and rapping, but like he's actually a really really good musician as well.
Musician, yeah, man.
Bass player and guitarist as well.
I try my best.
Even his long hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that looking now?
Yeah, it's not too bad, bro. Yeah, I'll show you now.
For anyone who doesn't know, Jim mashed his hand up in work badly.
Yeah, and a bit of a farm accident, so I like broke my fingers a bit. Or my right hand.
A little.
But like they still bend a bit, so I can kind of play still. But
that's awesome, man.
It's knocked me back a bit, but it'll be alright. Don't put your fingers in places you shouldn't.
Where there's a blame, there's a claim, is it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Just drinking tea out of glass. That's weird as fuck.
It's a pint glass, yeah.
Styrofoam glass as well.
Represent.
Sponsor me.
Just for the guys listening in on the stream, if you're annoyed about people talking over the music, it actually helps us if there's any copyright issues. If you carry on talking in the background, it won't get copyrighted. That's a tip.
Awesome.
Oh.
Nice.
So that's actually good that we're all just chatting shit underneath the music.
Yeah.
It's mad annoying to get done for copyright on your own shit.
It does worry me about copyright, because there is a sample in there, so what's
this won't get done for copyright because their shit's not on streaming platforms. So it probably
and it's also short sound bites as well. So I think we're all right.
It picks chunks of audio and and compares it to
15 seconds.
It's an algorithm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's like once you put it on streaming, you're in the fucking matrix. I can't put a fucking Facebook video of my own tune up without it getting blocked.
That's madness.
What?
Yeah, we've had it a few times, haven't we? That's weird.
We don't do the social media stuff half as much as we should.
I can't do it. I like behind the scenes. G's good at the PR and all that, and I think Jim's good as well. I can't do it.
Do you think you guys are missing out on the face-to-face contact as well, just handing out CDs at gigs and that as well, or just on the streets meeting people?
For sure,
stickers, stuff like that.
Really missing meeting people and hanging out, and gigs is a really good place, not just to listen to music, hang out and meet people as well.
Network and
I miss watching the Vultures lose their fucking shit on stage, throwing shoes at each other, man. Do you know what I mean?
They're a proper inspiration to the
that was
energy.
That was a thing for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what's
I used
weird.
to take my shoes off every gig.
I can't remember who you hit square in the face, man. You hit that guy square in the face with a shoe. It was so good.
I think if it's the one I'm thinking of, we're in the Parrot. And,
the Parrot, man.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, the stage in the Parrot is about that far off the ground. I just kicked off one of my shoes and just it just hit my mate Chris just square in the face, like just point blank. Just
I'm sure there's like a picture and it's like perfectly timed. In the
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
There is a picture of it.
It got to be an issue.
can't
Like I
remember
had
what
to
it was.
like find my. I remember doing it at Queen's Hall. I had to like fucking try and find my other shoe for like half an hour after I was there.
But that's
Hell of a
what
night when you lose a shoe.
like you guys, your stage presence as well. When you start going, you're moshing, man. You are metal.
Yeah.
That's what's weird. It's like you ask us where do we get our dark influence from? It's metal, but it's like where do you get your stage presence from? Like it's metal, man.
Yeah.
Like you were running around. You may as well just stop pulling chains and fucking. Do you know what I mean?
Windmilling.
Yeah.
You guys got super good
fun.
stage presence. Yeah.
I'm glad
That's
it's off like that.
Yeah, and it's a really good it's proper like party atmosphere, and that's something that we could do with like taking on board.
Yeah,
But
you gotta give the energy in it. That's the thing with hip hop. Like you've got, especially I guess we're a group, so like as you boys are, but like you can pull it off more if there's a few of you.
they bounce
But
off
there's
each
nothing
other.
worse than watching. Not necessarily worse. Everyone's got their own style, but. Do you know what I mean? Like Zubat holds it down so well, just as just himself, but like he's insane. And you don't want to watch a rap set where someone's just standing there and rapping and they're not moving. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Zubat terrifies you.
His eyes are piercing when he's rapping, man.
Zubat's just in a zone, and he's just like
When he makes eye contact, man, you just like you locked. I know it's
Dude,
like, wow. You're a bit starstruck. Like
I've been like center of the stage, and he's looking at me. I thought he was looking into my soul. Like he's just rapping to me, nobody else. Me.
His voice is so smooth. It's buttery, man.
it is, man.
Buttery smoothness.
Glossy.
Yeah.
This is Winger Records interviewing Wheeze Team. For the next hour, we're going to be jizzing over Zubat.
Yeah. What up, Zubat?
Big up Dave Acton as well. He's just chimed up saying
What's
that.
up, Dave? Big up, Dave.
No.
So what?
Dave in the house.
What would you boys say your biggest influences? Maybe give us at least one from the rap world and one not from the rap world, maybe.
Like I listen to a lot of Wu-Tang Clan while I'm driving about in the tractor. Like I love Wu-Tang Clan, how like odd a lot of it is. Like it's so head nodding, but you actually like really listen to it, and it's like such weird production. And the same with like Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But then like
Pretty mainstream, like rap for me.
I don't know, rock. Like I enjoy like Chili Peppers. I always feel that's got like a personal nostalgic touch to the old albums that like resonate with me. I'd say for me that's an influence, even though it probably doesn't show through the rap stuff. But yeah, man, definitely an influence.
I think it does with I don't know. You definitely got your own style of like what's the tune you started like singing a bit more on hooks and that, and is it the Moon song or whatever?
Of the Moon, man. Yeah,
you definitely got another little vibe going on there with like the I don't know, just kind of creating that like sound on a hook. Do you know what I mean? It's
constantly changing and trying new things. Like it's the way, like
that's it, man. Just trying to progress as a musician in it. Not be so like nitpicky with. For myself, anyway, with genres, like I don't mind trying anything almost, because I found in the past, like you guys as musicians yourself, a lot of the time, like you'll try and create something, you'll have an image in mind or like a product that you want it to result into, but it never turns out that way anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like I always try and make like a boom bap beep, boom bap beep,
boom bap beep,
boom bap beep, boom bap beat, but it never turns out like that.
Nah, dude. Yeah, same.
Yeah. But I feel
it's hard to put what your head
like
it's hard to put what's in your head onto the timeline. You know, it always ends up being something slightly like distorted from what you had in mind. But like,
what about this whole you being a drummer? You got a drummer in your crew. Do you do live drums then, or like do you record drums? Play them live?
Well, that's I do. I've been in a few bands. Well, we were in the band, the three of us, but that never went anywhere because I think Jim being a perfectionist and me being a bit of a perfectionist as well. That's why it didn't go anywhere. But as far as hip hop, that's where I'm wanting to go, but we haven't had the place
facility really, innit? I mean, like
we're gonna do it soon with the live drums, aren't we? Like we've got the focus right. It's got we're gonna get a few mics and get him mic'd up, and we're gonna start recording some live drums and stuff. I think in the future.
I've said to the boys for years now, it's like, I put my work in before the gigs, and that's where I do. And like the boys may remember, I used to have this little fucking thing, and like it looks like I'm doing something, but I'm not. I'm just pressing play because I can't do the decks. Like I've tried that, man. That's really difficult, and it's something I do want to learn. But like,
you want to play live drums?
I want to play. I want to play with my boys. I see them in the front, like, and they're looking like having an awesome thing. And I just want my kit there, and I also want like my door.
It would be cool for us to have some sort of thing where like you could play your drums live hip hop. We could set up some loops and stuff, but you would play drums over it, and me and G could rap, and it'd be more like a live hip hop experience.
That's the thing. But it's like a big and expensive job to do it. Like, it's probably why we haven't done it in the past.
It changes like the gig setup as well. It's like you're required. So if I brought live kit, like acoustic kit, then I need to bring more gear, or there needs to be a mixer at the place and stuff.
You'll be there you'll be the first one in the door of the sound tech and the last one out at the end.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a bit more.
Yeah, but it's that like balancing it out with like that live aspect you get from someone smashing a kit at the back of the room. It's like sometimes that's something that's lacking when you go to a hip hop night and you just see someone pressing play over and over again with a few MCs. If they haven't got that energy like you were talking about earlier on, then like having a drummer who just like can keep the crowd going, like even when your MCs have maybe dropped off a little, or like.
There's more
creative. You can be more creative, like as a drummer, rather than like, doing loops. You can actually play on the fly, and like if he feels that he wants to do a fill here or there, you can throw it in, and it's that sort of thing that makes it every show a little bit different then as well.
Yeah, and it's like, when you do play like an instrument, the ability to have variations on your sets is a lot more. It happens a lot more often. It's like me and G used to like I'd play a beat and he just rap like, and like I'd like cut out in certain times, and that would always change depending on my mood or when I thought I could drop out. But there's something I really want to do, but it's the investment initially. I'll start with recording first, I think. And then live.
You pick a bass up and sort of like record a bass loop with a loop pedal, then put the bass down and pick a mic up.
Yeah, and
that sort of stuff. Yeah, I got a bass.
not a place to talk about it, but
I've got a bass.
A forum for new ideas, but ideas that might happen in 7 years' time. But
cool. And all future ideas, like we have discussed all this stuff in the past.
It's funny how quick time flies as well. I mean, like you suggest something, and months can go down the line, and it's not
nothing
even
happens.
And you don't even like forget about it or something, but it's just like it's like there, but it's just not that time yet to do so. Like,
it all comes out if it's supposed to, though. I find.
Yeah, definitely. Like going back to like as Duck was saying about us playing metal and we don't do as much anymore. Like I reckon the hip hop really took over for a while because we did concentrate on the album so much. I don't know if I'm just speaking
no
there, but like that was a little catalyst on why we slowed down.
Lilith died out, didn't it?
I've got a bit of an EP on my computer of 4 drum tracks that Duck recorded, but we weren't clued up as much, were we? Yeah, we recorded 4 drum tracks for an EP.
No, we got the guitars. We did Eradication. We did
we've got a metal EP.
Essence, Sun Nova. The 4 the EP.
Yeah. But all of that experience would have still informed this album, regardless of if you finished it or not. So
yeah, it was all
nothing's wasted, is it? It's all experience.
No, it was all experience gained. It was
XP,
all
man. It's always XP. You've got to level up.
Yeah.
It's like I said that to G when he started producing.
I'm nearly at level 1, boy.
Yeah, you just
I found Arabian Gym on my laptop the other day.
Oh, that's such a tune, mate.
That is a tune.
Such a good tune.
It's a long lost Culture Vultures Wheeze Team collab.
Oh,
just release it,
one
man.
as well. Actually,
Just release it.
There's another one that is on this tower.
There's Wonky Tonk and there's
it's the eradication sample. So we
dinner on a plate, man.
Dinner on a plate,
That's
man.
Kai's, is it? Kai,
That was that
play.
first one we made, wasn't it?
knocking out mates of a 0.9s, knocking out I can't remember of a 0.8s. With war in the mind. Oh, I can't remember.
Took her on a date, but I didn't want to pay.
Didn't want to pay. Didn't want to pay. Took her on a date, but I didn't want
That's
to
a
pay.
banger.
Yes. So that was the first time I ever hung out with Wheeze Team. I'd only seen them at gigs beforehand, and I'd been at a gig in Bristol the night before. Slept on the pavement.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Those boys had picked me up from Tesco. Carried on drinking, and
That was
naturally made a tune, didn't we? First day.
It was pretty
first
cool,
time.
yeah.
It was a pretty cool tune, and Vultures and Wheeze Team got about 4, 5, 6 maybe.
There's a few in the archive, man, between everyone's hard drives.
We should actually do one banger for sure.
They're
all bangers, but
I've got
sorry,
that.
Lucky.
No, sorry, I'm talking over people because I'm starting to get drunk. I'm not gonna lie.
We're on the
Tell
arches.
me off. I know. Tell me off if I'm talking. No, we can use the beat and once this is all fucking over, I've got a loft conversion up here. That's where we are.
Oh,
you guys are more than welcome to come over and we'll record again.
Yeah. We need to do stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just all invest in some COVID kits now and just have a fucking session.
Yeah.
Just
COVID party.
hazmat suits, that's all right. Come and pick you up in a hazmat suit. Oh, we put the car in a bubble as well, man. That was just the best in the car.
Everybody will have P3 masks on, try to do
I've actually seen people doing live session, doing studio sessions in masks, full on face masks. You know what I mean?
That's wild.
It just sounds like you've got a low pass filter on the vault.
Yeah, innit?
So is there any new music you've come across during lockdown, or just a new interest in general?
I'll say I've been listening to John Baxter's new record, man. Jim gifted me a download link before it was released the other day, and I've been banging it since.
Oh, sick.
Apart from that, there hasn't been I'm a creature of habit, man. I won't listen to all that new stuff. I listen to something, and if it's good, I will rinse it. But yeah, the last thing I've been listening to is but before John Baxter's new record, I was listening to his EP Off Pissed.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was the newest stuff, man. But yeah, everything is just
pretty heavy.
Repeated playlists,
yeah.
That album's class. Yeah, no, you sent me some good stuff the other day, actually. That Koji Radical tunes and.
Yeah, man, he's pretty. To be fair, man. Oh, you what there? To be fair, yeah, I'll say Koji Radical is someone I was totally lying. But apart from him and John Baxter, I haven't listened to anyone else. But yeah, it's pretty good. His progression parts 1 and 2, they're banging there.
Yeah.
Definitely on the street.
I've gone back to 2000s, man. 2000s pop punk. No idea why. I love it, man. I joined a band last year, year before. Fuck knows. Was it year before?
Year before, I think.
Pop punk band, fucking lovely boys, awesome, from Aberdeen. They were called Death by Disco, but they decided to rebrand, and then COVID happened. So, yeah. But
now called Death by COVID.
So that ignited something that I didn't realize I was into. Pop punk, and then fucking listening to all this old pop punk and early 2000s stuff. Linkin Park, Meteora. Oh my god,
it's a banging album.
Fucking hell, outstanding.
Yeah, I can fuck with a bit of that as well. I think it's just because of the age I was when it was around, and it's just lodged in my head, sort of thing. And even though I wasn't a massive fan of it back then or anything, it's it hits something.
Yeah, man.
It is one of those albums that there is some music throughout our lifetimes that are just, they're played so much in the background. You don't take notice of them, but they store in your mind. So every time you do like somehow catch it or listen to it, it is like one is a feel
nostalgia,
good.
Brings back
nostalgia, exactly.
Brings back to a time when you were younger.
No.
Yeah.
Have to excuse me, boys.
I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of music these days. I'm just working too hard, and then when I come home, it's family time, man.
Jesus.
So like, if I listen to any music, it's like just tends to be on Alexa, and it's like just whatever you chuck on for the family as well. So. A lot of Mel.
How is it being a father?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, it's quality, man. Yeah, it's well good. Well enjoying it.
You gotta say that, don't you?
Yeah, man. Kill me now.
It's maybe a bit down, to be honest.
Yeah, nah, he's a legend, man.
Running around, man.
Yeah, cool. He's a boy.
Is he watching?
Boy. Nah, he's not watching. He's like one.
I was gonna ask him to like and share, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
What's up?
Get him to share the link, man. He needs to support your shit.
He's got bars, man. Babble bars.
Do you reckon? Have you noticed, like, since having a kid, maybe like your lyrics changing at all? Like maybe like, that's a bit grimy. I don't know if I want to say that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, I guess. No, well, no, not. It's not like when I'm writing. It's not like I'm not necessarily thinking of him. Like if I'm thinking about writing, I'll just be in the zone, like in my own head. But there have been one or two bars where like there's a mention, like just because it's such a big thing in my life, it was almost inevitable for it to crop up. You know.
You don't ever think about toning down the darkness or anything?
Nah, he's gonna be a little.
Have you met Jim?
Little devil anyway, isn't he? Yeah, man. Nah, I think it's all good.
We're coming up to quarter to the hour. So shall we have a full track?
That's
sure.
Man.
Yeah. So I know that there was a shout in the Instagram chat prior to the to one in particular. But is there a vote going on, or paying the price, or is there something else that you'd like to
Which
discuss?
one did you say was you trying to sample again, Duck?
Oh, the one that is inspired by Moon Daffodils.
Oh, yeah.
That's Metamorph.
Should we play that one?
That one, man.
Yeah, sound.
Gives us enough
I'm
time.
just intrigued,
it's quite a long one, that one.
That's 5 minutes, so we can have a little break.
Track.
Let's have a listen to this Metamorphosis. All right.
Metamorph. This is one of my favorite, like.
Don't ask where the names come
the
from.
For me, like.
Yeah.
The names come from G.
I really like. I really like Pay the Price.
Yeah, that's a good. That's cool one, man.
That's a gym one. That one, yeah. That's a gym one.
I'm drugging it out of my mind again. Inside of me, evil inside of me, chasing the money and skipping it off. Then I rock it, but rock and I rise. Dying to live, but I live it to die. So I quit, now I ride with my chick. Developing skills, you better run from the hills, away from the kings of the swamp. In the valleys where I met my gods, they taught me a lot, like how to cheat these fucking leprechauns. And I metamorph, never let them off. Once progress and loss, leave me in peace to reach the peak of my chi. I must not sit in silence to see these epiphanies. So don't fuck with me, dog. I'll fade out your entity's destiny with intention, with intensity. Forgetting interventions, delete all identity. Mesmerizing minds blown by the sound of mountains homegrown, creating visuals where keepers to the keys, the temples and the thrones. I've got no bones to pick, but still there's a skeletal itches. I keep losing my temper tenfold after bending over my bitch, burning bridges, cutting ties, leaving every fucker on my tip behind, hanging on for the fucking ride. I struck an idea, my mind did. I'm a hybrid. I got Peter to walk with the sirens and the lightning, and I'm shining like I was waving some high vis. My spirit of glisten is blinding. I'm looking for answers, but still it be hidden from me. All of my costs declining. I wanna be left, a bit of my misery. I wanna be left from the low. WT embedded my soul. Never bought Hennessy into the zone of a tempest. I'm ready to blow shit as high as the Everest. Sleepwalker forever, dead talking to the moon and night, picking shells for when I resurrect. This is my seventh vessel, slipping in and out of dimensions is a habit to evaluate.
We have to go to the shop.
Regretting the hate that I spread. I shouldn't have known better, you never know what's going on in my head. Don't test the devil, the infidel or the rebel, I'm ready to wreck. Let it be said in my death, I settle my debt. Peace out, bro, never settle for less. Back to reality, half an normality, feeling way down by the force. I'm fighting invisible foes, enemies that I chose, but I'm changing the course. This time I'm gonna bust that shit. Never learn my lesson cause I never quit. I'm a fiend for the green, I know it. My personal bank account shows it. With the original, your team is minimal. Check out your content materials, criminal. Mimicking others, I stand by my brothers. You're just a gimmick, I pull out another piece of the puzzle. I double the trouble, I jump on the mic and I bust through your bubbles with relative ease. I never say please, never say sorry, no mud on my knees. Ignorant people unable to think about anything more than the food or the drink. On the brink of extinction, I couldn't care less. Bring on the end of the pain and the stress. Bring on the end of it all. I don't give a fuck if I rise or fall. No more tricks, I'm a sleeve unworn. Got no more pennies in my pocket, I'm poor. My team's so big, we're critical. Don't give a shit about ridicule. I've heard a few people call me the doctor, cause my rhymes are clinical, subliminal. Can you hear me now? Lost along the way somehow was every piece of advice that I took. Twisted up and misunderstood. I said I'm nothing like you. You bite off more than you can chew. I say to myself, it can't be true. I'm stuck in a paradox, paranoid, I'm gonna spew. I need release from the game that I play. I'm full of disease and it's making me crazy. Back on the road with the trailer until it's Friday again, and I'm hoping he pays me. 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 Back on the road with the trailer until it's Friday again, and I'm hoping he pays me.
Fuego Radio. Bloop, bloop. EMW TV host.
Let's go.
It's there. It was just there.
Oh my gosh.
What's going on?
There's a bit at the end of that track where I think we were mixing or we were recording, and I'm hammered, absolutely lathered, and you can hear me going, "Get me my fucking drink."
I think I took it out. Is it? Or is
no,
it still in there?
It's in there. Yeah.
In there,
and
you listen really carefully.
All you can hear is G go, "Ah." Because I'm just in my.
He's like demanding his refreshments from the driving seat.
Innit? It's like that point of the night where like it's like you're crossing the line from being too hammered to mix, but everything is stressing you out. Like I was getting, that was like the level that Duck was on. He was just like, man, like, where's my drink?
Oh man, I wish I was there getting pissed. Like,
yeah, dude.
That you boys getting on it today, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
It wasn't the plan, man. We were just gonna have
Daddy duties for me.
Duties, fair play. GG, man. You're the real MVP, bro.
You are the real MVP. I miss my sesh buddy.
Yeah, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. 2 p.m.
When you're
But you've only just got up, haven't you?
No, I've been up since 9.
I'm joking.
Here he goes.
Sleep whenever you want. Old man Jim.
Old man Jim.
Are you drinking schnapp?
Well, it was what was in my utility room. Man.
Here we go.
So we got that. I got
Jack
downstairs. I didn't buy it.
No, we didn't buy it. It was already you. It was
already
you when I got it.
I think it's my missus.
Yeah.
It's the Malibu then. We were sipping shit.
Come on, the people need to know, boys. Sort it out.
Get the receipt. Where did it come from?
Malibu. That's it. It's the coconut fucking.
This is important music journalism.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So what about you boys then? What's
haven't
coming from
drank that
the
since I was
culture
like
vultures
16.
then?
So would you say?
What's new with the culture vultures?
Yeah.
Absolutely
What's going
nothing.
on? Nothing.
Not a lot,
Can
man.
you guys
just,
make music or?
Yeah.
I got
we're pretty
like a bit of nice.
separated.
Like
at
a
the
shed.
moment.
It's a studio.
we're just completely separated. Like,
Yeah.
It does suck, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I got like half a solo album
Nice.
Nice, man.
Me and Hagee got an album that's like, you know, all the tracks are there. It just needs us sat in a fucking room for a week to fine tune it.
Man.
6 years in your boy's case. And
Yeah.
that's like all our punk shit, all the heavier end of.
Nice,
Awesome.
man. Experimenting, like.
Because we just kind of realized Jem wasn't on any of the tracks. We weren't trying to make a different group. We just
Yeah.
it's always me and Hagee being a twat, like over the punk shit late night, pissed. So whenever we can actually get together, that'll be coming. But there's literally no Culture Vulture tunes in the vaults at all.
Shit, man.
Oh.
That's a first.
way.
It must be.
Dried up.
Yeah, dried
I
up.
mean, there is though, because there's a lot of tunes that are not finished. You know what I mean? There's just nothing new kind of.
I get you.
Because a lot.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of tunes. There's tunes we kind of. Yeah, there's tunes we left off the last album that is like probably like 5 tunes which are kind of sitting there waiting to be kind of finished.
Yeah.
Nah.
When you leave them for so long, it's hard
Didn't
to
make the
go back
last
and
album
vibe.
and it's been a year. I fucking make new shit.
Start fresh
But,
vibes. Like,
Yeah, there's a few bits in the works, and I'm going to try and get around Geff soon and actually record some newness. Like,
It's
but yeah, man.
we don't seem to have much
It's like-
chemistry over the internet. Do you know what I mean?
it's difficult, isn't it?
There's no energy, man.
Yeah.
I think it's just it's just hard.
I've just been trying to stay occupied, like sort of. It's the first time I've recorded myself, so I've just been trying to like actually get good at that and shit at it. To be fair,
Yeah, it just takes ages.
how much you get your energy from other fucking people.
Definitely.
Sit in a room on your own and be like, yeah, this is buzzing. Is like,
Yeah. I'm
I
asking
think-
my missus, and like, is this track not good? She's like, yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Fair.
I buzz off for competitiveness a bit as well, you know, like
definitely, man.
or like the fact I know I'm gonna play a gig, I want a new tune for the gig, or but geez, just written a fire verse, I need to fucking make
Step
it
my
cry
shit
when I
up.
fucking drop mine. Like,
Yeah.
like it's hard just in a room by your fucking self. Like,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Second.
like
that,
music doesn't really exist until someone else hears it.
Here's it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
That's
find
where that
especially
whole.
as
Carry on,
I
bro.
need some more plugins and stuff, man. Things like that.
I was just saying, I find it especially like even just I can record myself in it, but I much prefer doing it with Geff, like with Hagee on the boards, and I much prefer like even just like he knows how to just like good like creative criticisms whilst you're recording. Do you know what I mean? I might record a verse and do the whole verse and think, oh yeah, it should sound like this, and then Geff would just be like, well, no, you're doing it too much like up here. Do you know what I mean? You need to just relax and do it calmer.
It definitely helps when someone's driving.
And then I'm
and you're just
recording it,
on the mic.
like it'll sound perfect. Do you know what I mean? But it's just having that input at that time where you're like, why doesn't this sound quite right?
Yeah, it makes a difference, man. Definitely.
The other day, G had this verse for a track that it was the track that Jimmy released the other day, but
we scrapped my verse.
G's verse didn't fit the song, but like recording that, I completely drove, not just recording and stuff, but I was like directing G as well. And it's like
I'd written the lyrics and the syllables, but everything like the ad libs and shit, that was practically all Duck's input. Like
the ad libs were really aggressive, like fucking that kind of thing. Like so, like you can't do that over the internet, or you can't do that over text. This is what I want, or whatever.
No.
And like. And like I don't have any. I don't really make music unless G's over it. To be honest with you,
yeah.
I
find it hard doing it on my own at the moment with no skills.
You've done it right.
Isn't it? It was that recent track was fire.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. That Fed to the Beast tune is sick.
Isn't it?
Thank you. That was a fucking.
You got good. It seems like you got good views on that as well, isn't it? You got like
inside, man.
Done pretty well, isn't it?
Yeah, on the channel, like fair play. Thanks to you boys as well for checking on your channel. Like fucking, I just exposure, man. It's like sell my soul to the devil. Like
I was thinking about this the other day, like when G told me you guys wanted to do a podcast and stuff, and I was just thinking back on like how much you boys have looked after us and promoted us and stuff, and it's wild. Like
it is wild.
We were like some of the Swansea crew and that scene. Wasn't for us, like it wasn't for me. I'm speaking for the boys. It wasn't for me, but like you boys, you know, I think you just know more. To be honest, you know what you're talking about, and you're real.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, man, it's fucking. We vibe with you guys, and that's what fucking made us click with you, like, you know.
Likewise. To be honest, I
boys have got a bloody mic
was
issue.
feeling a bit fucking dead creatively, like just before you hit me up for the first time, G, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, oh, it like gave me a fucking boost being around a bunch of other people that fucking I vibe with and like inspired me. And it definitely
does that, man.
First time I seen you boys play live, it was fucking it was mad. Like I definitely wasn't expecting, you know, you're talking so you were obviously cautious, you didn't know me or anything, you hadn't played that many gigs or whatever. And when I see it's like fucking hell, you're fucking having it. Like
first time I seen you boys I came with G. G was doing a solo act. Yeah, you were doing a solo act, and I came along, and the Culture Vultures were playing, and you did Squawk Town Residence. That tune's still the best tune you've ever done. That tune's a banger.
It's like 5-6 years old with you guys now, but that is like top tier Vulture shit.
That's a banging tune. I was
like, that was the gig in the Lemon
Factory, man.
I've never felt so unprofessional in my life. And like he comes over and says, oh, what door did you use, man? And I was just like, I used an iPad. I'm out of my depth. I'm out of my depth. Fuck.
I think that night I ended up bringing.
You had to rap over different beats, didn't you?
That was the time before. The Lemon Factory was our night we put on, wasn't it? Yeah. But like that specific night, I brought this really shit CDJ, and when you boys started playing your shit on it, it kept on skipping the machine because the machine was so unstable and old. Like that was fucking. I went to get everyone beers, and then when I come back, it was like, yeah, bro, the tracks are not playing. Like
nothing worse than a tech disaster. Like moments before.
But but
look what it led to, you know.
In it.
Right now.
Yeah, man. But the first time, Jim, when you came to see us, it was, I think, the Culture Vultures had put on a night in the garage in the Uplands, and I was freestyling shit to like one of the DJs that was spinning there, like. But that was the first time.
Nah, do you know what that was?
What was that?
Just a slight correction on that. We didn't put that gig on. We were supporting Dr. Syntax, weren't we?
Fuck, no way Dr. Syntax was there.
Dude, you come for us, did you?
Yeah, man. I
wasn't it that night,
man. I just turned up like.
Because by the time we booked gigs in the garage, we fully knew you. I think.
It was very early days.
Because I remember it spun me out, right?
My boots. That's white. The pool room.
Because I remember we were supporting Dr. Syntax. I remember we had like a burnt. We hadn't even released Squawk Town. We had a burnt CD with a couple tracks, and we just go. And I remember it spun me out because when we played that Lemon Factory gig, we played Squawk Town Residence, and you boys were saying the words, and I was like, it's not even out. I was like so fucking confused.
I had a copy of that fucking CD.
I was so confused.
I had one as well.
Yeah,
like we hadn't had people shout our lyrics at the best of times. Unreleased ones.
For me, man, what made that track especially for me, like one of it was the instrumental and how dark it was, but secondly, it was one of Jem's lyrics, and it's something about blood reds and ice shade, something to do with a grenade in the bedroom, man.
Yeah, what?
Go to bed with a grenade.
Because blood reds and ice shade.
But when I heard that, man, the first time on the beat on the CD, I was like, holy shit, like, yeah, I fucked with that, like.
Fuego.
Yeah, man. Forget about the middle tunes.
That's good.
Yeah, Lemon Factory was a weird little vibe in there, wasn't it?
It was, man.
It was odd. That was really weird.
Yeah. Do you remember? What was the gig where? I remember doing a gig there, and Jamie P and like Rufus and that were there playing, and there was some guy, like some dude came on and did some like grime set, and he just kind of dissed everyone in the front row, and then everyone just like left. Like he said, I think Rufus Mufasa was like the only girl in the building. And then like he literally just said something like derogatory about it, and everyone's like, "Yeah, fuck this guy," and everyone just walked out.
When was that? Recently? Like
no, back in the day.
That was like
last week.
Last week, yeah. I mean, like recently before lockdown. The lockdown doesn't count.
That's been like 18 months, man. Come on.
No, I want to get on the gigs again, man. The first one we did in the bunkhouse was popping.
Good vibe in the bunkhouse. I rate that place. Like
that, I was thinking about that night the other day. We got hammered. You were steaming. I got you pissed.
What a surprise!
That was one of my solo performances.
Yeah, G was doing.
Yeah, that
wasn't sad.
That was a different
one
night,
before.
It was King
Jeremy.
Yeah, it was meant to be a Wheeze Team thing. I think.
But Jim couldn't make it.
No, yeah. So yeah.
I was a bad friend that night because I kept on fooling G up and he was tanked up.
Yeah, I was tanked. I remember trying to do the first line and
Came
then realized
up
I'm too hard to fucking rap.
Was it a flop? Yeah.
Yeah, massive flop. And I did my thing where I can't do anything, so I'm gonna buy about 6 fucking Desperados or Bud, and I just sit behind it and I just fucking start drinking.
I remember when I arrived there, you were already there.
I was already drinking.
Chewing fucking Zubat's ear off.
No, you can just speak to me.
You were just chatting. When I got there, then like Zubat just like he just left after a while. Like
yeah, that was me then.
Yeah. No, that was all right. In fairness, I thought I kept it together, but looking back, man, it was. A
there's been some edgy gigs.
I think that was the night because the first night we did was popping the whole way through, and I was with Luke RV and that. And then I think that was the second gig where we did a big lineup, like, and then a few people didn't show, but it was like the first 2 hours were like full, and then it just emptied out.
I remember that.
And I felt bad because I put Zubat on quite a lot early just because he's like one-man band in it, and he just gets it going quite well. But then I was like, I'm going to put Zubat on at 12, like Zubat as a headliner in it, so he's got like the pop in slot, and then literally the venue just emptied out, and then it was just like Zubat rapping.
It's hard to judge that, man.
You know, like maybe you boys could explain that to me, but like the setup of a hip hop gig is completely different to what I'm used to. Rock and metal gigs and bands. Like people are there for the headliner, and it's like a slow build up. Like we've done gigs in the past in metal where we've played to nobody and we're the first ones on, second, third, like, and then as soon as the main and core main and the well-known people, it floods, like, but like it's almost as if it's tipped on its head then for you guys. What's the deal?
I think with that, it's different with the gig that was popping all the way through. It was a busier gig, but like you had a lot of we put on like a gig and people would come to a gig because it's a winger gig and they're there for like the whole kind of all the different artists. But then I think with the one where it emptied out, we had, what was his name, Dead Crow and the Swansea Boys on early. I think a lot of people showed up for like his set or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was like a Friday night in town, so then they were just going out to the pub. I mean, they weren't really there for our night. They were just there to support.
These gigs, hip hop gigs tend to be like later in the night, innit? Like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. they go on to as well.
Yeah.
So what I reckon, just to focus this in a little bit for everyone listening, and then we'll wrap this little segment up. What's like one of your best memories from a gig, and then what's like one of your worst? Even if it turned out to be a good memory in the end, like a shocking moment at a gig, and then a good moment at a gig.
Straight up, my worst gig was in what was it called? The Scene in Swansea.
Yeah.
And I had a wedding the following day, and won't mention names, whoever was organising the gig. I told you, dude, I need to be home by this time because I got a wedding in the morning. I don't want to be tired, like, and I all that shit. So he went up to the guy who was organising it, and he said, we need to be on at this time, or we need to go. And he kept on pushing it, and we're like, you're going to be next, you're going to be next. And then some other guys would sneak on stage. You're going to be next, you're going to be next.
And that was quite disappointing.
It got to like 2 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning,
wasn't it?
and he said it again, and I just lost my fucking shit, man. And then I just left the room, and it was like a flippy doors or something. Just smashed the door open, and I think I screamed "fuck off" or some bullshit, and I left then, and we didn't even play.
No, we didn't even play, and we didn't play a gig for quite a while after that either, did we?
I think until we met you boys. And then we were like,
we started doing stuff in the Parrot then,
because you're professional. You tell us when we're on, and we're on.
We're on, but yeah.
Got an inkling who that probably was as well.
It's probably getting too pissed. I remember a specific gig in the scene again, where I think everything residual had just come out, and I think it was like the first gig for me to do after it. And me and Jim and Duck had a set on first, and then I had a set on after it, like a little while after it, and I was sound for the Wheeze Team stuff just about. And then I remember fucking, in my memory, I feel like I blacked out a bit on stage because there's only patches that I remember of me performing. But I do remember there was a little sloppy moment. I think I was rapping to Scratch Roof or something. And before it comes to the bridge, I felt like I still had another 4 bars to go. And then it kicked into the bridge. And I was like, whoa. Like it just happened. And I was like, man, like I am too
not ready for this.
No, like what is going on? I think like that was another gig where like not many people were there at the end, and we just cut it short as well. We were just like, do you know what? Do another song and that's it. Like,
yeah.
I've had good gigs, man. I wouldn't say we've had any gigs that I like walked away from thinking like I wish I hadn't done that. But like, yeah, there's been good and not so good ones. There hasn't been that many anyway, to be honest.
I think my favorite gig was one of the Parrot sessions, and it was the first time we played I Don't Give a Fuck.
Oh man.
And it came in, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody lose their shit more than Jem when it came in. And it goes dun dun, and Jem was like, and I went, Jesus fuck. And
that's
you
like
guys just started moshing amongst people. You were like pushing people, and I was like, fucking hell, boys, strap yourselves in. Let's go.
Do you know what though? That is one of the songs that I find is an early banger where like for me at that time, I didn't think it was having as much of an impact as it was, because when we played it live that once, and all the times after it, we played it
had
live.
really good reactions.
It did, didn't it? And it's like, by that point, like our last gig was it like December 2018, was it, or something?
God knows.
Or like just before 20...
Was it the last Parrot
2020?
gig?
No, 2019 it would... Last Parrot gig. It might have been the last Parrot gig.
Close in? You had the last gig or something. When was that?
That was the last gig we'd done.
That was October 2019, was it?
Yeah, the Parrot closed on New Year's Eve of 2018, but the last Winger gig.
Jesus.
So it would have been the gig.
The last Winger gig was, I think, mine and Boofy's birthday on the 28th of September.
Might have been that. Were we at that one?
Maybe.
Yeah, you boys were on that one. So that was the last.
Yeah,
last gig we did at the Parrot before it was.
I think that's the last gig we did. Shit.
So
that
even
was 3
like
years ago.
Fuck, man. No, I can't have been.
Anyway,
you've done it, man.
My apologies. Yeah.
Sorry, boys.
No, it's all right. It's easy to forget. You just like you're not just chatting to your mates in it on things like.
I got a terrible memory.
Like specifics of like, remember in the fucking
terrible.
And when people
are
like
that
click.
That one person to respark that memory. Like,
I apologize for any boring conversation.
No, it's been good. I just might as well say it when we need to like fucking meander through or whatever.
I think we need that.
I'm sure the last gig I played at the Parrot was fucking it. The upstairs flooded and come through the sound booth just before we were about to go on.
Jeez.
On like the final hurrah gig.
Last gig, innit? And the gig before that you boys put on, I'm pretty sure we were there. But I remember like that weekend or something, for some reason I'd messaged one of you boys. It could have been Jem, but I just had a reply and it was like, yeah, man, the roof of the Parrot fell through.
That's rough.
And our last gig, and that was fucking, you know, proper sad, like fucking.
I had a
Right.
terrible
Pretty
gig with
depressing.
Ginger Jam where I did what was it? Skewing Memorial Hall. I got asked to do a set with the boys, the band. So we like turn up and there's just like a ring of tables and old ladies selling cakes, and they want us to play like for them. So we're like playing like Bill Withers and stuff to these like old ladies selling cakes in Skewing Memorial Hall. That was quite a bad gig.
It's not a gig not when I played at, but I went to a gig before, and it was like my mate's parents' band. It's actually the woman I sampled on the Year of the Rona track. But yeah, it was there. It was like, oh, do you want to come to like my parents' gig or whatever? It was in St. David's Cathedral, and I was like, yeah, man, sound like go to the gig and get some beers. Obviously, it's in St. David's, so it takes fucking forever to get down there. And then we go into the gig, like, and I just had like 4 beers with me as a backup, so I thought there'd be a bar and stuff. And then like we went to go in, and the lady at the door was like, "Can you take your hat off, please?" So I had to be like, take my hat off. And then yeah, obviously there was no bar, and it was just like there was a few old people in there literally asleep, man. Like sat up asleep. And I just kind of sat in the corner and watched the gig and just cracked cans in my coat and just
get the brown paper bag out.
Questioning like
yeah.
what you're doing.
It was not the gig that I expected.
No, in it.
I remember when we got booked to play at like Baskerville. It was like a festival in Baskerville Manor House, and like we walk in, it already sounds pretty fucking good to us, you know. Walk in, it's a massive stage. We're like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Like, yeah, let me just show you around, boys. They take us like through all these corridors, and there's like this pub in the back, and they're like, "This is where you're playing." It's just, it's just a floor, and a bar,
a bit of cardboard. Like,
it's carpeted, it's carpeted to
nice.
Start with, which tells you everything. And we're playing, and there was a couple people there. By the end, there was one guy there, and we just started freestyling. Finn's like, "We thought we had it made here. One stayed here." And then we get steaming because it doesn't matter, innit? So go to talk to the one guy who stayed, innit? Like, "Oh, what's happening? Are you into rap and that? What are you saying?" "Hey, you step brother."
Oh man.
So he's just there because he's like related to
Oh, a little bit embarrassing, I suppose.
You gotta take the good with the bad and the bad
That's
with
it,
the
man.
good and all that.
You can't be on the high all the time, man.
Yeah.
A gig is a gig.
Like we've in the past we've played some proper shit gigs.
Oh yeah.
And
man.
during metal, I
Excuse
remember
me.
we you know, we're waiting for the people to come in or whatever, and G turns to me and it was heartbreaking. He just went, "Bro, if you're just not that good," like I was like, "Nah, man, it's not the case. It's just I've got the exposure, like." But that always stays with me. Like, maybe we're just shit. Maybe we're just
I think
shit.
you constantly go through that, no matter what level you're at. You always,
yeah.
There's always.
You got to remember,
better.
even Beyonce's doing that every now and again.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
funny one I just remembered as well, when we supported KRS-One in Cardiff, like, and we were just like, "Fuck yeah, do you know what I mean? We're supporting KRS-One, like, this is nuts." We only found out like a week before as well. It was like, "Do you guys like, I don't know," and yeah, we just went in full throttle. Like, I think we've been doing a few gigs.
How we know
around that time anyway, and we were just doing like, you know, we're doing like 140 beats. We're doing like drum and bass dubs. We're doing whatever in it, West Wales party scene. And then we did that at Club Evilbach in front of like, you know, like 55-year-old type hip hop heads who like worship like Rakim and like, you know, like the Fugees.
Did not dig the Vultures. Like.
They did not dig the end of our set, I don't think. Like, they were just like, and then like one of them was just talking to us for ages, just about like what we should do, like, do you mean how to make your music more boom bappy, I guess, like.
Yeah.
And how the pinnacle of MCing is Chuck D. I was like,
definitely.
I feel a bit better because I actually don't care what you think now.
Definitely depends who you're showing your music to. Like, as you know, like, obviously, if the audience is like old school and all into that, and then you come out with like some new sort of style hip hop, it's going to be a bit edgy. Like, a younger audience then would eat it up, wouldn't they? You know.
Flip side of that is supported Asteroid Boys, and literally people was going off the same as they were to Asteroid Boys. We literally like had 20 fans like that from like one set. Support KRS-One, you feel like you're dog shit, like you can't even.
Yeah, it's a clash. Like it's almost like a genre clash, isn't it?
I feel that sometimes when we've done gigs with you, not in a bad sense, but it's like, is it gonna go down well? Because obviously for a while before Jimmy started producing some tracks, it was just my production, and I'll hold my hands up. I'm very electronically influenced, and that's when that stuff comes from. Jim's more that old school boom bap stuff. I can't do it.
I like trying to record like the little guitar parts and the little licks. Yeah, pick up a guitar and try and record
like
a little melody.
I love I'm a sucker for a synth, man. I love a synth. But like, so we maybe it's like we've gone on third or fourth or something, and like we've heard a couple of people, and I'm there with a laptop on my back, and I know what's on my laptop, and everybody's pumping out these like cool like sample beats, and it sounds proper old school hip hop, and I'm like, I'm not prepared. I've got fucking electronic stuff that the boys are rapping over. Fuck.
You almost feel like underdressed, like
point,
like
I just man.
Yeah, but
I'd love
I mean,
to do some scratching and stuff like that.
A lot of rap these days is not sample based and is more like that, you know. Like
that's true, man. Yeah.
But trap and that is not really sample based.
But like it's the contents of it, and sorry.
Yeah. But from my experience, you boys have always been one of the most banging people on the lineup whenever you played, to be honest.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
I think we naturally work well, like playing like. I think like we could play back to back in either order, and I think it'd a good tour duo. Like
for real.
I was literally thinking back to back in my head before you just said it. Then, like,
when are we going to be able to do? Well, it's lockdown permitted, but we should do a mixtape or EP, man.
Yeah,
like your side get some tracks ready, our side get some tracks ready.
We could just swap them in there and just
jump on vocals either way.
Like. We should do a pub tour of Wales with it.
Yeah, boy.
Play to all the old men and stuff. Feel the dry boys.
We'll play every venue that hasn't got an alcohol license in Wales.
Churches, all sorts of stuff.
We should just do gardens, man.
Gardens,
just like bandstand gardens.
Curbside party.
Yeah,
I'm game for that.
The rugby pitches. We just set up. We get a massive journey. We get monitors.
What's like the best venue in Ammanford? Is there any like if you were to
Miners'
put a gig in
Welfare,
Ammanford?
The railway.
Oh, the railway. Oh, days.
That'd be a banger.
No, the railway would be.
Dude, I've seen a woman fall from a bar stool in the railway, and her chest has fallen out. And nobody decided about that. I was flabbergasted.
I bet you went and give her a hand and you said,
man. I was too young to even think about that. Like I was too worried.
Just like it was that thing of like just look the other way.
Why are you 12 years old in a pub?
Pretend it didn't happen. Like
I was 16, 17.
There's not there's not much of a scene for it in Ammanford.
No, there's not.
Is it just more like pubs and that you have like?
Yeah,
it's pub rock up the valley.
It's a die-in scene. Like, and COVID obviously has completely eradicated whatever was left of the pub scene around here. It's only food sort of thing. You go somewhere for food, and you go home.
We've always been told that the hip hop and the grime and all that stuff, rap, is Cardiff and Newport way.
Yeah.
And
same as the metal scene, though. Same as the metal scene, because
I don't know. It's not too bad. It wasn't too bad in Swansea.
Swansea was alright, yeah. And Neath was a little hub for fucking deathcore once upon a time.
When the Windsor was open.
On the Windsor, yeah, on the Duke.
And the Duke.
The bad boy.
Well, man, you've been misinformed because Carmarthen's the rap capital of the universe.
That is,
man.
Like
does appear to be that way.
Do people still not know that? You know? Oh.
No, you say it joking though. Like honestly, like I've done a lot of gigs in Cardiff and been like, do you know what, this is shit in comparison. The people
depends on the gig, doesn't it?
What's the feeling there? What's the vibes? Because every time you've come down your way,
it's a bit stand around and judgy, like, and that's a broad statement. I've obviously had plenty of good gigs in Cardiff.
Yeah,
but it's like people are, I don't know, a bit too cool to fucking
like the music, like or like someone new, like.
Yeah,
it's also, I think it's
less appreciation in it in a big city.
Because it is a city as well. It's like around here there is less going on in it. So if you're like, oh, putting on a gig, like, oh, sick, we're gonna have a gig or whatever. In Cardiff, you can walk around. Well, pre-COVID, like you can walk around on a Saturday night and go to like 10 different gigs. Can you?
Yeah, innit? Yeah, man. That's
People are less invested unless they're there for a proper reason. People are less invested. In
honestly,
individual.
Sorry, like places honestly have like their own fucking like spirit as well. Like West Wales just got a bit of wildness in it, and like you're just happy to be out and just fucking on the piss regardless. You're just fucking happy to be there, and there's nowhere else to fucking go, so you're there all night. So everyone's fucking invested in the event. But then it doesn't have to be a rural place. Like we went up and played in Leeds, and it's like it's having it there. It's like people
that was popping.
Having an attitude. It's like little pockets. I love Cardiff to bits. Like I've got so much love for it, but like that when it comes to music, there is a slight sedateness about it. What it is. Yeah, man. Even though Swansea's a lot shitter than Cardiff in a million ways, musically as well. It's a bit more having it when it does get filled up.
Yeah,
You're a bit wilder, like.
I feel like I may be wrong here, I may be misinformed, but I feel like you guys have definitely created more of a culture. Like you've got a scene down there that like I don't think exists eastward our way. Do you know what I mean?
No, that is true, man.
Like it's this vibe. Like it's like when we've done Swansea way, there's that judgment you were saying about in Cardiff. Like, you know, at the time I felt that me and G and Jim were working hard and stuff. But Frank.
Oh, Jimmy.
Bugger off, you little shit.
But when we come down your way, it's almost as if it's more appreciative. It's like, oh, you've gone that way, cool. That's different. But like if you do it in Swansea or whatever, it's like you're not keeping to the norms. Jog on, like.
Yeah, I do feel it's a lot more homely down with you boys when you put on gigs. It's like sometimes there's been a lot of gigs in the past where I've been really anxious and like you put a big guard up before playing and even after playing, like, you know, but I definitely feel, and I don't know whether it's because it's the comfort of being around you boys when we gig so much. But it definitely, like, before I used to get nervous for gigs and I used to look forward to it being over to then enjoy. But when it was coming down to the parrot and things and playing with you boys, I enjoyed the whole experience. As nervous because it was like there's obviously people you know there and you know well, you know, we vibe and stuff, like, and that it makes all the difference than to when you go to somewhere where no one really knows you and you just feel like it's like an unspoken conflict, like, you know, you can't see it, but it's a little bit of.
Well, that's that's cool as fuck. That's cool as fuck to hear. I'd honestly give a lot of credit as well. Like, I'd say like me and Jem are actually quite lucky. I'd give a lot of credit to like people like Harry, people like my dad, who like before we were even old enough to go to gigs were actually doing really cool things in Carmarthen and putting on.
Yeah, it's sick you had that. Like,
shit. Like my dad had like Scream in fucking Carmarthen.
That's wild, man. Yeah, the dub artist.
He had like so many like thing, and Harry done loads of sick gigs as well. So it's like me and Jem were already kind of stepping into a pretty cool shadow of people who were doing cool as fuck things. Like, so shout out to all them people.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. To have that influence growing up, or like from an early age, you know.
I was just listening.
I didn't really have much of that.
I was just listening to you guys talking about how it was different in Cardiff, Swansea, you know, down in Carmarthen, because like gigs are sparse down in Carmarthen. But can you imagine, like, there's going to be a sweet spot once this all finally stops, where like everybody's going to be experiencing what we experienced growing up in the countryside, like down in Carmarthenshire, where you've got like one gig every other month, you know, like that feeling's going to be everywhere. So you can imagine there's going to be some mad gigs like popping off, and really, I reckon it's going to be pretty difficult to get to. Sometimes.
That's what I want to be like when everybody's coming back and everybody can go to gigs and stuff. I want to be ready, not with an album again, because to be honest, part of that kind of killed me. But like a lot of singles, get ready and stuff, new material. But like, not forget that we've also got the album that technically we never played to anybody.
No, that's it, man. It would be almost silly to make a whole new set list when the things that we've already got is only digitally heard, isn't it? I mean, we haven't, as Doug said, performed it to people yet. So I think that'll be pretty good. And even though in our previous gigs, we did play a good handful of these songs that we'd released, I think it's different when you're playing unreleased stuff and people know of those songs only when they go to your gigs, as opposed to when, like, you know, people have listened to the whole album and it's like, you know, people start learning the words and shit, and that's like a different way of performance and projection to how it was. Like, so man, fucking
it'd be sick for the scene to be reborn after all this. Like,
I think so as well, man.
You
it
know,
needs to be done. Like
some like you say, some big gigs popping off, everyone like getting together for a big party, like you know.
I think
all
it's
good vibes, like
definitely.
It's down to like I'd rather build something with you guys than my way, because you're more supportive of diversity of style. It's like coming back to what I was saying. It was like unless you're not that,
it's on the trend.
You don't fit
at
in.
That time,
that's
like,
it. Like. And we're different. We're out there. We've always been told our stuff is different. Metal, fucking hip hop. It's always been different.
Like, but we front that, like, in it, because like at the end of the day, like when we make music, it's shit that we kind of want to make, and it
hope it's different, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you think it's different, but until someone else listens to it.
In it,
But you don't want to be at that point where it's pretentious.
Yeah.
We're different.
We're different.
We're different.
But then it goes back to that thing of just like, you know, making something where you've got like an image or like how you want the final product to be, and it never goes that way anyway. Like, I think that's the main thing with originality. Like, you know, you've taken influence and you've tried, and yet it's come out as something different to what you expect, like, in it. And
you've got to trust in the randomness, in it.
Exactly, man. Yeah.
Oh, you got to welcome the roll of the dice. Like, you got to welcome the shit that you didn't plan for, because at the time that's like the most beautiful, unique shit.
They are the best things. They are like, the happy little accidents, like Bob Ross in it, you know.
But we wouldn't be out there and musicians and stuff if we were like fucking just deleting everything we were making, thinking this ain't the style we were going for. Like,
even though that's
just one of those things. It does still, man. But like,
I think I do speak for the three of us. Is if it makes us happy and we vibe with it, that's when we're happy to release it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like,
and I mean,
all three of us are gonna vibe.
That's it, man. And I think for me, man, it's easy enough just to sit in the back of a corner. I'll write a 16 or a 32 to a song and be like, that's soundbite, that's ready. But I totally respect like Duck and Jim, because like Jim especially is such a perfectionist. It's like, you know, if it wasn't down to him being okay with it, then I reckon my music, and like Duck has a standard, but Jim...
Jim's standard.
It's high, man, but Jim, like, it goes to show with the 3-year album that if it was up to me and Duck, it would be released in a year. Like, so that does go to show. Like, so
you're roasting me, boys. You're roasting.
No, we're not roasting. Jake, you off again. But like,
they're parboiling you, mate.
I'm not sure what's happening.
You're getting flambéed.
Well done, stage.
Jim has definitely rubbed off on me, because I know I'm a bastard for when it's like starting to get infuriating, the listening to it over and over and over again. I just tend to release it. But Jim, being Jim, and the perfectionist.
You will hold back, man.
And you'll make it right. And that's why the album.
Nah, man, not at all. Not at all. Even though, like, half the time I'm thinking to myself, oh, bro, get it out, Jim, man.
You boys ever
I
think,
wish,
like,
bro,
after you've released something, that there's stuff you could change? Or, like,
man,
as, like, a third party, when you listen to someone else's song, you just take it for loop over and over and over again, sort of thing. So it's like...
Yeah, no, 100%. Even with our album, there's, like, as tunes on there we're more happy with than, like, other ones, isn't it? Like, we've got some tunes, like, as well, like, you will just listen to it so much you don't know whether you think, like, what you think anymore. But, like, I remember when we dropped the album and Jaffa played, like, 2 tunes and he played 10 times 10. And Gaff was like, oh, why do you have to pick... He's like, why do you have to pick 10 times 10? There's better songs on there. But it's not necessarily the tune. The tune was popping. It was just, like, how we recorded it. It was just something we just
your
felt like
favorite
maybe it
isn't
wasn't
necessarily someone else's favorite from the album.
Yeah.
Like.
Do you guys feel as well that, like, say if you've got a favorite track and you think it's gonna go down like a banger, like, but you play something else and you're like, everybody else is kicking off for that one, you're like, really? Or, like, you know, does that happen to you? Or
to be honest, the ones I thought were going to be bangers do end up being bangers, but they do.
Subtle flex.
No. Let me just say, it is actually rare. It's rare. I'm like, yeah, this is the fucking shit. Like, be like fairly pessimistic.
Doubtful, yeah.
But there's definitely ones that surprise me that people like, because I'm like, that was like, to me.
Yeah.
Like Fuego off of our fucking album before.
It's a good tune.
I think it's because of how it gets made, maybe, because there's like no effort in it. Like,
right.
And Jem did a verse. I basically copied his verse.
Was it?
So I'm like, oh, shit, innit? And people are like, it's banging, but it doesn't really matter what you think about the fucking technicality of how hard it was. It's just a vibe at the end of the day, innit?
So was that one of those like day tunes? It's done in a day type thing.
10 minutes.
Yeah, probably. I think.
Together.
Yes,
Mate, we made No Shrubs in like 30 minutes with beat, lyric, everything, and we were fucking hammered.
That goes off.
That's a hard tune, isn't it?
And
what the fuck's that all about?
That's we was disgustingly off our head. Like.
In a mess.
We definitely
also
did a session like that.
Yeah.
Amy wrote my verse for that.
Let's go.
Because I didn't know the words, because it's a remix, isn't it, to TLC Scrubs.
No Scrub.
Yeah.
Jim, isn't that you? That's your jam, isn't it?
That's my jam, bro.
And
that tune.
So I didn't even write the verse. And the little stupid whip of the flick of the wrist bit, I was just saying that because I was taking the piss, and they were like, record it, and I was like,
Like, that shit. That's the shit. Like,
I was just on the sofa. Like, all right, one more thing, right? Do you know what's fucking hilarious? Because I knew I didn't write that, even though it's not something to write, but it's just like whip of the flick of the wrist, whip of the flick of the wrist. Hey, I knew I just heard it somewhere. And the other day I was watching fucking vines on YouTube, and there's this vine of this little girl who throws a ball, and it like goes.
It goes behind
the basket, and it's like whip of the flick of the wrist. I'm like, oh, where was in my head from?
That's a banging clip.
oh,
And I'm pretty sure the sip in the fifth of the whisk is just a killer Mike fucking bar I had in my head.
Sipping
It's a
fifth
bit
of the
bait. I
whisk.
probably shouldn't admit all that shit, like, because it makes it trash. But
Guys, we've been talking for an hour and a half now. So I just want to say that I've dropped your album into the chat on all of our streams.
Awesome, dude.
much appreciate, man. Thank you.
Man, it's wicked. I'm going to listen to it more. Is
You're a
there
legend.
another track you'd like to play out on that we should?
Oh.
Do you have YouTube up?
he bought your album earlier. He's got the whole.
Oh, on the tune. I reckon, bro, in a western, my personal. show.
The tune.
Sick in a western.
Go for it.
So I'll cue that up at the end.
Excellent, thank you.
Just to let you all know that we're doing another stream on Monday night with Mr. Formula.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's Avank have done a remix album of Mr. Formula's latest album called Tunes, and we're doing an exclusive listening party on Monday night at 7 p.m. GMT.
Nice.
So that's gonna be sick. Mr. Formula's gonna be on there. So from his studio,
Cool.
Panhead.
Some links.
Yeah, the Ruffian guys. So we're gonna have a flyer up at the end of this stream, and yeah, it'd be good to see you guys on there streaming, asking
For real.
stupid questions.
Yes, boy.
100%.
Wicked.
Also, just a quick mention. We dropped Lispy's solo track on Winger Records today as well. So
Nice. I checked that out this
I'll be
morning,
checking
man.
that out after.
The beat is sick, man. It's really chill, man. It's nice.
aye. So you boys got any final things you wanna say?
Cheers. To be
Yeah,
honest,
you've
you boys
talked me
legends,
out.
Yeah,
man.
that's
I'm
nice,
sucking your
man.
dicks, I know, but you boys are good, man. You're good.
It's not the same virtually, though, is it?
It's
It's
been
not
great to
that,
hang
man.
though, for
Yeah.
sure.
We did like we definitely need to do something to send out to people as well, and we don't.
Yeah.
We also just need you boys to come over and hang as well because it's
Yeah,
been a while.
definitely. I do miss you, boys. I do miss you, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I
It's
do
a
Miss
good
your
show.
energy.
Ditto. Yeah, man.
Fuck guy.
Yeah, man. 100%.
It's killing it. But yeah, thanks so much for having us on. It's
Yeah,
been
definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's
Been a
been,
new-
a blast.
new
A
experience.
pleasure. It's
Yeah,
good
Yeah.
Went
talking to
pretty
you.
flawlessly.
Definitely.
Like,
Yeah,
definitely.
so far so good.
Go get the album Kings of the Swamp, wingerrecords.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, boy, get that shit.
You got Spotify. Who cares?
Soon.
Winger Records, bro.
Winger
We'll sort it
Records.
soon. We'll sort out all that stuff.
All right, safe. Thank you very much, Wheeze Team.
All good, man.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much, Harry. Technical Wiz.
Harry,
Big up.
Yeah, thank you, Harry.
big up.
Cheers, boys.
This is a banger.
Yeah, it's a banger.
This is actual guitar and bass. Oh, it's not
Commentary,
bass.
Jim.
It's live commentary.
Bud stalks in the ashtray, the drugs are gonna talk, going further than what the cost pays. My head's gonna pop. This music's fucking killing, and we just about to own this spot. Too high, I don't mind letting my mind rock. Jimmy DC skilling, and we'll take the lot. Winning in what you are limited to. For the past year, we've got a news to the menacing dude, so fuck you. I'll be bouncing on your bed, not your bitch in your bedroom, because she's gnarly. Like the top on my lungs, hard to breathe as I surf through the safari. I'll die on a Harley. Let me slit your wrists and submit a bit of blood to the nuns. Why? Cause I'm high on Charlie. Thirsty as I begin to pick away at my last couple of grams of Percy. You got me shirty. Go grab me some green and some pills. Here's a cash, bitch, you heard me. Just another worm to the birdie. Millions of miles away, far away from worthy. I'll await my instincts to alert me. Is it cause I'm idle? Is it cause I'm docile? As I listen to the ghosts and the demons alter my mind. And never will I stop blowing smoke, always be low in hope. I'm tingling the logs behind my dome. You're looking kinda lost in a western, forever blowing smoke in a western, living in a western. You're looking kinda lost in a western, forever blowing smoke off your barrel in a western.
Rattle them chains, I forget my name. Each mark on the wall, it represents a day that I have wasted, chasing a dream. Surrounded by enemies, but followed by fiends. It's obscene to believe in a higher being lurking in the dark. Seeing is believing when you're skeptical of heart, but don't get me started. Hardly party this we can talk. I'm still trying to shake withdrawal from the weekend before. I found that hate is the only thing that's left these days. Fake is everything I see on the relay. Believe me when I say that I want what's best for everyone here, but never settle for less. Cause I don't believe that we should regress. But liars and thieves occupy our congress. It's fucking complex nonsense. Rotten eggs and chopping legs with cotton threads. Placing bets on the underdog, getting best. I distort the course of my thoughts. I feel no more remorse. I'm stepping down from a high horse, and the cause is the effect. I see no applause, just the heart in your chest. A part in your nest, I'm hard in the head. Quick to forget, but I never disrespect or rock to twat. Because I know what goes round comes back. Yeah, what goes round comes back.
You're looking kinda lost in a western, forever blowing smoke in a western, living in a western. You're looking kinda lost in a western, forever blowing smoke off your barrel in a western. You're looking kinda lost in a western, forever blowing smoke in a western, living in a western. You're looking kinda lost in a western, forever blowing smoke off your barrel in a western.
The
had a red hat on, didn't he? And he changed.
I changed my hat and I got this. It's so cold. I'm out in my conservatory and it's freezing.
Fair, brother. Fair.
Is it snowing down there? Yeah.
No.
Wankers. It's exactly what that was for.
Yeah, I need to go make a fire.